Hey, good morning from the Georgia WeatherNet 24/7 Storm Center. I'm meteorologist KJ Allen. We're breaking in live with severe weather coverage. We do have an active tornado warning, and this is going to be in West Georgia. We are looking around Pine Mountain, just south of LaGrange. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for portions of Harris, Meriwether, Troup, County, Georgia, until 7:30 this morning. Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, and this is radar confirmed now. About 7 miles northeast of Lynette, moving east at 40 miles per hour. This is near the Cannonville community. So locations in this warning polygon include West Point, Pine Mountain, Callaway Gardens, Shiloh, the Roosevelt State Park area, Stovall, Jones Crossing, Harris City, Smith's Crossroads, the Lane Cane area, and Pine Mountain Valley. So let's just zoom out really quick just to show you what we're talking about here. This is right on the western edge of the state of Georgia, right along the Alabama state line, getting around Callaway Gardens near LaGrange. And just south of LaGrange, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that covers a little bit further to the north up to LaGrange, covering that entire cell. But it's the bottom end of this cell that we are most concerned with, where we see that rotation. And we see a pretty good inflow notch in on that storm as well. So we are certain, just getting another warning in there and listening to that. Yeah, this is some pretty strong rotation right now, just east of I-85 before 185. This is not very far at all from where that tornado touched down just a couple of months ago, up further there around where 185 and 85 come together. And there was some damage on this. This is a few miles south of that, but this is certainly a some very strong rotation with this storm. Let's take a look at the debris tracker and see if we have any sort of any signs of debris being lofted at this time, because this storm is absolutely capable of producing a tornado. And yeah, that is possibly a debris ball that we're looking at just to the east of I-85. So we're going to get a little more confirmation on that. It's going to take a couple more radar scans to make sure that we yep, this is probably going to be a debris ball right there. So once we get another scan or two, that'll confirm that. But this is east of 85, just north of Highway 18, or Highway 18, there in just inside of Troup County. So this is going to be a confirmed tornado. If you know anyone in this area, you need to get them to their tornado safe place right now. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. So we do have a report coming in from a trained spotter in Troup County indicating that they did see a rotating wall cloud with this. So again, this is going to be a radar confirmed tornado. I know I'm zoomed in very close, but I'm just looking at some other information here to see if we can get some additional details on this storm. Let me zoom out completely and give you the big picture of what we're looking at, and then flip back over to our reflectivity. This is still on debris trackers. You can see multiple severe thunderstorms stretched across the state from LaGrange all the way east of Macon toward Milledgeville. So, and then out to the west, more severe thunderstorms. So these storms are going to continue to train right through middle Georgia. This is pretty much exactly what the models were indicating would happen. And here it is right now occurring. So that's why we have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect that's been extended to the east to cover all the way out to Augusta and into South Carolina until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So let's zoom in again. And now that you know where we're talking about, West Georgia, this is going to be well above Columbus, but just south of LaGrange, right along the Troup-Harris County line. And so we have this tornado warning in effect until 7:30. And we have a new sweep of radar here, still showing that hook and that pendulum, which is what we don't want to see. That's an indicator that this storm is spinning. And we're still showing that strong rotation. You see the bright colored green and a little red near that. That's an indicator that this storm is spinning and is capable of dropping a tornado, and likely has brought up some sort of debris. Hopefully not significant damage. Could be tree limbs, could be leaves. But yeah, that's going to be a debris ball. This blue area that you see, I'm going to try to highlight it for you right in here. That's going to be debris. So that's not rain. basically what that means. And that continues to travel toward the east, now continuing to head toward the Wildcat Creek area, Flat Shoal Creek, and the road that we see the debris ball near is going to be Highway 411. So east of I-85 to 411 and continuing toward 185. So very, very similar to the last time we tracked a tornado in this area just a few weeks ago. It's a little bit more toward the north, but this is going to be crossing some fairly populated areas. This part of Troup County has less population than further north toward LaGrange, but still quite a bit of population there nonetheless. And then crossing those two interstates, always a significant issue. And we're also looking at the potential of very large hail. Let's take a look at just our hail estimates. I'm seeing a hail core up in the severe thunderstorm warning box area, just to the southwest of downtown LaGrange. And we can take a look at the estimated size of that hail. Yeah, that is a massive, massive hail core. Just another indicator of how strong this storm is. So we're looking at the potential. Now, this is just radar estimated 4-inch. That doesn't mean that's what's reaching the ground, but the radar estimates, based on the reflectivity that it's seeing, that up in the atmosphere, there could be hail 4 inches in diameter. So what's falling to the ground may be a different story, but either way, I think we're for sure seeing some severe hail very close to LaGrange, south of LaGrange, and then heading over again toward the 411 intersection and beginning to head toward the interstate there east of town. So our tornado warning in effect until 7:30. This is going to be covering portions of Harris County and Troup County, Meriwether County as well, off to the east. Greenville, you're not in the warning polygon, but as we head down toward Pine Mountain along the county line there with Harris and Troup County, Pine Mountain, you are in the warning polygon. And Manchester, you'll be next in line if this storm continues to hold together. And looks like no signs of weakening at the moment. So while we wait for another scan, let me just zoom out and show you what's going on around the rest of the state of Georgia. Also important to pay attention to Alabama with those severe thunderstorms that are just lined up like a train and moving straight into Georgia. So they're just going to continue to push through and create some more problems for us. But right now we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, and that's going to be in the central part of the state. We'll start from east and then go back west to cover our tornado warning once again. But off to the east, severe thunderstorm warning is covering portions of Putnam County, Baldwin County, Hancock County, and southern Greene County, and then also part of Jones and Jasper County. Those storms are continuing to track in toward Eatonton and Milledgeville. And then our center storm that we have, this is going to be, let me grab all the data on this storm. So this is going to be for Spalding, southeastern Fayette, northeastern Meriwether, northern Pike, southern Coweta, and northwestern Lamar County. So that remains in effect right now. And that one goes until 7:30. And then we have our severe thunderstorm warning that covers LaGrange and pretty much all of Troup County. That goes until 7:30. And then our tornado warning, which is the red polygon, that's our main focus right now. This has a considerable damage threat. And the hail possibility, as I mentioned, the hail core up in the atmosphere could be very significant values, but it looks like an inch and a half, maybe what's reaching the ground right now. So just a moment ago, confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado over Balls Crossroads, about 9 miles south of LaGrange, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So this is a confirmed dangerous tornado. So our warning polygon has changed to this purple shade to let you know that this has been stepped up from radar indicated possible tornado. This is a tornado, 100% tornado around Balls Crossroads, moving toward Interstate 185. And let's take a look at the debris tracker again. We had a good sense it was kicking up debris as it crossed 85. We saw that debris ball, and it's still there. So what we're looking at this is our debris ball. This is heading toward 185, I-185. And if it stays on track, we'll be moving in toward Pine Mountain over the next several minutes. You don't have a lot of time. You need to get to your tornado safe place right now. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. That is now right at 185. This radar scan is 1 minute old, so it's going to be approaching 185 as we speak. And let me get you some more locations here. Again, this is around the Flat Shoal Creek area, very close to the county line with Harris and Troup County. So Indian Creek is there, Salem, Chipley Road, Turkey Creek area will be next in line. All right, just getting some more information here from the National Weather Service. And we had reported wall cloud on this earlier, and now observed tornado here again. This is an extremely dangerous tornado, and this is continuing now pretty much due south of LaGrange. LaGrange, you're going to be okay. You got the severe thunderstorm there, but the tornado is south of LaGrange, now crossing 185, and really going to be around that Flat Shoals Church Road area. Salem Road, next in line will be Oak Grove Road and Hamilton Road. That's US 27. That will be next in line, down the line from what we're looking at right now. So very, very close to Highway US 27, also known as Hamilton Road. So anybody in that area in Troup County and northern Harris County, right on the county line there between Troup and Harris, that's where this storm is located. And we can still see that very strong inflow notch. That's an indicator this storm is spinning. Let's take a look at the velocity. And I'm sure this is going to, yeah, that's a mess right there, right on top of 185 and 411. So confirmed tornado in extreme southern Troup County, but we just need to let folks know in northern Harris County, especially Pine Mountain, that this storm is right there on your doorstep and it is moving your way. So lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. If you know anybody in that area, wake them up. Call them right now, because I know it's early on a Sunday morning. They may be up and getting ready for church, may not be. So you just need to make sure that they've got this information. This could be life-saving information for folks in southern Troup County, northern Harris, around Pine Mountain. This is east of 85 now. We first started to see this rotation couplet near I-85. We saw a debris signature on the east side of I-85, and it has held together as it has continued to head toward 185. So this could be a fairly long track tornado if it stays on the ground, and eerily close to that last track, which was probably about 5 miles north of this. Let's zoom out, give you the big picture if you're just joining us here on the Georgia WeatherNet. Live severe weather coverage, West Georgia. This is going to be in Troup, Harris County line, south of LaGrange. This is all north of Columbus. And you can see all these storms are moving well to the south of Atlanta, picking up a few of the extreme southern Atlanta metro counties, including Meriwether County. And then we have that severe thunderstorm warning, actually a couple that are not associated with that cell around LaGrange, that are off to the east. But we're mainly concerned right now with this tornado warning, with a confirmed tornado on the Harris-Troup County line. This goes until 7:30. The time now is 7:10. And if this holds together, we can expect the warning to be extended downstream some. We're waiting from the Weather Service just to see what their thought is on that. But possibly further into Meriwether County, could be covering Manchester. Let's put a timing on this, just if it does hold together, when it will be a little bit closer to Manchester. And we're only going to be able to get, let's see here. There we go. So should be passing, if it holds together, close to Manchester in about 24 minutes. Woodbury, probably going to be just south of Woodbury, but going to be there in about 28 minutes from right now. So time to prepare downstream in Meriwether County. If you know anybody there, let them know that they need to be up, moving, and be ready to be in the tornado safe place if necessary in the next half hour. And just get prepared now. You got the warning, so let them know that this storm is serious. This is we haven't really had a lot of spin on these storms so far this morning. We've had multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that have been rolling in as they've moved in from Alabama. This is the first one with some real spin on it, and it makes sense. This is probably the storm that we've had furthest to the south, and so that's picking up some of that instability. We have plenty of wind shear, and that's what's helping these storms spin up, is that low to mid-level wind shear. So the severe thunderstorm warning is going to remain in effect as well, and there's a new one that's just popped up. This is all part of that same cell. The northern part of that cell does not have the spin on it, so that's why the Weather Service is going with a severe thunderstorm warning. That does cover Greenville. This is going to cover the bulk of Meriwether County, the northern part, central part, southern Meriwether, southeast Meriwether County. Still nothing as far as warnings are concerned at the moment, but that is subject to change. So stand by for that. So Manchester, Woodbury, you may be under something soon, but as for right now, severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 8 a.m. And this does cover Greenville, as well as Luthersville, Lone Oak, Rocky Mount, Stovall, and St. Mark's. You are in this severe thunderstorm warning, and a new one just popped up as well, a little bit more to the northeast. So let's see what we have here. This is going to be, actually, is this one? Okay, we have a continuation of the severe thunderstorm warning for Baldwin, Greene, Hancock, Jones, and Putnam counties. And let's just stay focused here on our tornado-warned storm. It is important to get these severe thunderstorm warnings out, but the key is going to be this tornado warning right along the Troup-Harris County line. And we'll pop up the debris tracker again. All right. We still see a debris ball right over US 27, or just slightly to the west of US 27. But that looks like it's starting to fade out somewhat. So that is a sign that potentially the tornado has lifted. But I think that when all is said and done, we're going to find that the tornado held together and on the ground between I-85 and 185, probably lifted just to the east of 185. But this looks like, yeah, it's still there, but it's starting to fade somewhat. But it could drop again. So that's the key as we continue to watch this storm track toward the east, now heading toward Hamilton Road. That's US 27, toward Betty Dunn Road, Crawford Creek Road. And so we're getting into the eastern portions now of Troup County, now beginning to move into Meriwether County. Let's take a look, since we're zoomed in really close. We'll zoom out in just a second, I promise, and give you a big picture of what we're looking at. This is Troup-Harris County line in West Georgia. And we'll take a look at the velocity since we're zoomed in close, and can take a good look at this couplet. It's still there. That's strong. Fairly broad, but very strong. So this is showing us the winds coming and going from the radar, and this is really whipping up. So this is going to be approaching Highway 18 next, passing over Hamilton Road right now, and again heading toward Betty Dunn Road, the Crawford Creek area, John Wallace Road. So we get into Meriwether County. So let's take a look at our reflectivity again, and then I'll zoom out big picture just to kind of reset what we're looking at. Just a line of severe thunderstorms now stretching from Sparta and then all the way out west through central Alabama. Looks like all the way out to about Selma, Alabama. So this is a long line of storms. And, these storms, let me put this in motion just to show you what's going on. It's not like this is a squall line that's moving to the south. This is just pushing like a train, just moving toward the east. And let's see, I hit the wrong one here. We'll try one more button here, and this should do it. We'll put this in motion, and there you go. So this is going to bring some very heavy rain and then multiple rounds as we move through the next several hours. Severe thunderstorm watch for West Georgia until 9 a.m. Severe thunderstorm watch for the rest of the middle part of the state of Georgia. You can see that map on the Georgia WeatherNet Facebook page to see the counties I'm talking about, but the rest of middle Georgia, parts of North Georgia in there as well, are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So the western part of the state till 9, and then the eastern and middle part until 1 p.m. So this is the radar in motion. You can see how those storms are just continuing to train over pretty much the same area. Let's get back into our tornado warned storm. Very important now that you have an idea of where this is. We're right on the Harris-Troup County line, now moving into Meriwether County. Storm is just to the north of Pine Mountain. It looks like Pine Mountain itself is going to dodge the main rotating part of the storm. However, north of Pine Mountain, north of the Roosevelt Park, up around Sulphur Creek, Crawford Creek, White Sulphur Creek, that is going to be the area that we're most concerned with. And now moving toward the Chipley Highway area. And we'll take a look at the debris tracker again. We have a new scan. This is a serious storm, confirmed tornado. This isn't just a storm that could produce a tornado. This is producing a tornado. And yeah, still showing that debris signature fading somewhat. We still see some debris that's lofted into the atmosphere. Could be leaves, could be tree branches, could be roof shingles. Hoping it's nothing beyond that. But there is some debris that's still up there floating around. Got reports of quarter-size hail in Woodbury. So this is up in that hail core portion of the storm, the northern part. You can see the dark gray color there in the storm. So there's your hail core. And so confirmed quarter-size hail that has fallen in that area. All right, the tornado warning has been modified somewhat, dropping off Harris County. So Harris County, you are in the clear, but the tornado warning remains a considerable threat for Meriwether County and Troup County. The large and extremely dangerous tornado located over Durand, about 9 miles southwest of Greenville, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So let's take a look at the velocity again. And we'll get a sense of where that rotating couplet is. Get around the Durand community. Yeah, there it is. Still showing that strong rotation. Fairly broad, but strong rotation. This is still enough that can kick up a tornado. And that's why we need to take this seriously. This is heading toward Chipley Road, Highway 18. And let's take a look at the debris tracker. Zoom out just a little bit. And if this is still on the ground, we should see a debris ball around this couplet, nearby the couplet anyway. Yeah, this is getting pretty spread out. So I more than likely, this storm has lifted somewhere between I-85 and US 27, Hamilton Road. But we're 100% certain that it did touch the ground, and it did kick up some debris of some sort. So damage reports will be coming in, and we'll be watching out for that. It's going to be in Troup County, just above Harris County. So we'll watch out for some damage reports there. Hopefully everyone is safe, because that did pass over some population there between the interstates and just on the other side of 185. All right, so now the damage reports are coming in. House totally destroyed on West Point Road in LaGrange. Heavy damage to the West Point Motel, or hotel rather, and multiple trees on houses along West Point Road, and an entrapment reported there. So there it is. So the debris we were looking at, that was pieces of homes and other structures. And That's what we were hoping would not be the case, but that is the case. So a home totally destroyed at the on West Point Road in LaGrange, and no reports of injuries or fatalities at this moment. We do have, again, a report of an entrapment, and so the law enforcement officials and EMTs will be working on that, and we'll update you as soon as I get some more information in on what's going on there around LaGrange. But this storm passed just to the south of LaGrange. We have a report of West Smith Road at Highway 29 and damage to a home there and vehicles. Troup County has now been dropped from the tornado warning polygon since the storm has moved out of that area. Now we're completely confined in Meriwether County. And this is now about 7 miles to the south of Greenville. So Greenville, you're in the clear as far as the tornado is concerned. But still have the potential of a tornado here. Still showing that inflow notch, starting to kind of close up just a little bit. And just northeast of Pine Mountain. Let's take a look at the velocity. So if you're just joining us, confirmed tornado in Troup County with damage. And sounds like significant damage right now. We're going to continue to get those reports to you as they come in. But we are still monitoring the storm as it moves close to Warm Springs. We may get this extended out. If this rotation holds together, we'll see what happens. This is starting to broaden out quite a bit, but there's still that rotation there. As for right now, Warm Springs, just be on standby. Manchester, especially north of Manchester, know that this storm is coming. It has produced a tornado, has produced damage. And if it begins to tighten up again, we're going to see that warning extended downstream. So let's zoom out and take a look at what we have here. And we'll get back to that storm in just a moment. Again, we're seeing some broadening of the rotation, so we'll just kind of cover some other storms around the state, and we'll wait for the next sweep to see if it looks any better or any worse. But here's a big storm here moving into Baldwin County, northern Baldwin County, just to the northwest of Milledgeville, heading into Putnam County. So severe thunderstorm warning there until 7:45, and looks like some significant hail with that as well, heading up Highway 212. And let's move out toward the west. A new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. Okay, this goes until 8:15. Let me see where our info is on that. Okay, I think this one's it right here. Hang on with me just a second. So, okay, this is just going to be an update on an existing severe thunderstorm warning that was in place. So this gets into Morgan County. You have parts of Jasper County there and northern Putnam County with that severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. That's been updated just a little bit, but those storms are starting to move in toward Jackson, Georgia. And then severe thunderstorm warnings continue out west of that. So this line, it just links all the way into central Alabama. You see even some storms out in eastern Mississippi. So just a long line of these storms. So we have a new sweep of Doppler radar in. So let's zoom in and go close to the Pine Mountain area, West Georgia, heading toward Manchester. This is going to be for the southwestern corner of Meriwether County. And still have that kind of that S shape, that kink in the storm that we don't like to see. The hail core is west of Greenville, so we're going to be watching out for some severe hail heading into Greenville over the next 10 to 15 minutes. But the rotating portion of the storm is going to be south of Greenville. This is going to be, this rotation, the rotating part of the storm is beginning to weaken quite a bit. So we'll see what happens if this gets extended into southeast Meriwether County or not. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. So they're going to replace that with a severe thunderstorm warning. So the tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. We go severe for southeast Meriwether County. That does include Manchester. But just know that there is the potential for a tornado with this storm. It has already occurred. It's already created significant damage around LaGrange and is going to continue to bring a wind threat anyway. 60-mile-an-hour straight-line winds possible. And that hail doesn't look like we're going to have a big hail threat in Manchester, but certainly into Greenville and Woodbury, the northern part of this storm, that's where you're going to be most concerned with the hail. So we're going to stick around for just a little bit longer and just kind of cover what storms we have around the state. But this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire in about 4 minutes. And so we'll just kind of step away from that one and take a look at all of our cells that we're looking at. The severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Putnam, Baldwin, Hancock County, that remains in effect. The part of the warning, we just had an update just come in. Getting so many updates in, I've got to kind of scroll back to see what we have. So we had a little update. The western half of this severe thunderstorm warning that covered parts of Putnam and Jasper County and then in Jones County, that's all been canceled as the storm has moved out of that area. But we're looking at a massive hail core up around Plant Branch, so near where Putnam and Baldwin County come together. The old smokestacks, the big hail core. Look at this. You can see the gray color. So that's an indication that we have some significant hail now moving toward Lake Sinclair around Plant Branch. Let's take a look at the estimated size of this hail. Now, this can be a little deceiving because this is an indication of where, just based on the reflectivity of how large the hailstones are up in the atmosphere. It doesn't mean that this is reaching the ground necessarily. And should be popping up here in just a moment, we think. Or maybe not. All right. Well, either way, this could be quarter-size hail or larger, approaching Lake Sinclair, just north of Milledgeville. So, yeah, not sure why that tool is not coming up, but all kinds of fun colors are now popping up on radar, and that happens sometimes. We have a lot of data coming in, and we'll just reset that, no problem, and get back to it. There you go. Just got to be a little patient. Sometimes with severe weather, you want it to operate a little quicker than it's going to, but that's just the way it goes. So there's that hail core now passing over 441, just north of downtown Milledgeville, heading toward Lake Sinclair, heading out toward Hancock County. And if it holds together, we'll continue moving toward the Devereaux community in Hancock County. So just be advised, this is a severe thunderstorm that's pushing through northern Baldwin and moving toward Hancock County. And even up toward the north, some very heavy precipitation. Maybe some hail, could be some small hail east of Eatonton, up around the Shoulder Bone community, and Texas Chapel could be seeing some hail up there as well along State Highway 16. Let's head out to the west a little bit, pick up our severe thunderstorm warning that we have until 8:15. This does cover the city of Griffin. This is for portions of Butts, Henry, Lamar, Monroe, Pike, Spalding counties, and possibility of 1-inch hail with this storm system. 60-mile-an-hour wind also possible. So this is a strong storm that's moving through Griffin. The bulk of the wind, actually, I'm seeing probably the strongest wind is going to be just outside of the warning polygon, right down here, heading in toward Barnesville, Lamar County. This is going to be some significant wind there, and it is really whipping, I'm sure, in Barnesville. But no severe thunderstorm warning for that part of Lamar County, but it's going to be windy. I can pretty much see how that storm is bulging out. You have that tight reflectivity gradient, and the storm has got that kind of that bow shape. So that's an indicator of some strong wind. No tornado warnings on the board right now. That's great. So the tornado that we had confirmed that went through Troup County, that has now the rotation has broadened out enough that that's been changed over to a severe thunderstorm warning. And the storm reports continue to roll in from Troup County, trees down and blocking lanes on I-85 near the Kia plant. So we'll find out a little bit more about that. And also I-185 is blocked near mile marker 38, trees down on 185. So we have reports. So if the trees down are if the trees are down over the interstate, for sure, we're going to have multiple roads that are going to be blocked off with trees. And that is likely going to be from tornado wind. Straight line wind was a big factor here as well, but we are for sure there was a tornado on the ground between Interstate 85 that moved east over 185 and then lifted somewhere around US 27. Also, we mentioned a little bit earlier some homes severely damaged. We have a report of a home destroyed in Troup County around LaGrange. And just to give you some roads where we've had some damage reports coming in, West Smith Road at Highway 29, West Point Road in LaGrange. Also report damage to the West Point Hotel. So multiple damage reports, and they're just going to continue to roll in. Tornado watch. Okay, we're going to get an extension on the tornado watch. And that's still being put together. We'll get you that information momentarily. But as for right now, let me see if we can pull up the map of our watch area right now. It's 2 watches currently. So both for really the central part of the state. And let me see if I can pull this up, and we'll have to clear off all of our radar data. And we'll get back to the live radar data in just a moment. But I just want to show you the area of the tornado watch. I'm sorry, severe thunderstorm watch. My bad. It's somewhat rare that we get these severe thunderstorm watches issued over tornado watches, but we've had 3 of them issued over the last 24 hours. So just trying to see if we can pull this up. Well, let me just kind of give you an idea where this is. So this is going to be for the central part of Georgia. So middle Georgia, stretching really from Columbus over to Augusta, down to Statesboro. And I just found the graphic here. Hopefully we'll get all the counties to pull up. They give us about 500 different advisories and watches that we can pull up from. So here you go. So this is our severe thunderstorm watch. And this was the original one. So this is going to go until 9 o'clock. We have some counties east of I-75 that will go until 1 o'clock. And as I mentioned, it has been extended, covers down into Statesboro, over to Augusta. And then there we go. Now we're starting to get more popping up here. Okay, we got the tornado watch overlaid on that. So the pink color is going to be your tornado watch, and then the purple is your severe thunderstorm watch. And when you get into central and east Georgia, that goes until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So there you go. We're going to have to push out this information regarding the tornado watch here momentarily to our radio partners. So we'll need to break away briefly. But while we do that, we'll go ahead and go back to our live radar and track what's going on. Time is 7:35. This is the Georgia Weather Net with live severe weather coverage. And no tornado warnings right now, but we do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and those are going to be the yellow polygons. So 3 of them currently across the middle part of the state. So stretching from around Irwinton to the east and then down to around Pine Mountain to the west. Manchester's in there as well. So I'll put these put the radar in motion so you can see how these storms are moving. A lot of times we see a line of storms like this, they're usually going to be moving in sort of a what we call a squall line or a QLCS. They'll move. In this case, we would think they'd be moving south, but they're not. They're moving west to east and just training over each other. So that's going to cause a flooding concern as well. Once we get one massive storm out of the way, there's a little break, and then another one comes, and then another one, and that's just going to be the way it's going to go for the next several hours for the middle part of the state of Georgia. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to break away here momentarily, and give me just a few minutes. Going to update our radio partners and our social media partners on the latest tornado watch and what's going on with the severe thunderstorm watch as well. With no tornado warnings in effect, we're going to be safe to go ahead and break away for just a moment. So we're going to do that and come back and give you an update here momentarily here on the Georgia Weather Net. All right, this is the Georgia Weather Net with live severe weather coverage, and we are going to be going live here momentarily. With a tornado warning for around the Milledgeville area in Baldwin County. Stand by. We're going to have to get our radio partners online, but we are going to be live in just a moment here on the Georgia Weather Net. All right, back live here in the Georgia WeatherNet 24/7 Storm Center. Just getting our notifications out on the tornado watch. And as that occurred, we now have a tornado warning that has been put into effect for portions of Baldwin County, the northeastern portion of Baldwin County, southwestern Hancock County, until 8:15. Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Milledgeville, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Possibility of quarter-size hail with this storm, as well as the possibility of a tornado. And we're taking a look at the radar imagery right now. So northeast, so this is going to be around the Lake Laurel Road area, beginning to head toward the county line with Baldwin and Hancock County, and continuing in toward Devereaux. So massive hail core with this as well. So hail is going to be a big concern, but that rotating portion of the storm is what we are keeping a very close eye on right now. This is going to be eastern Baldwin County. And so there's our rotating couplet just to the east of Milledgeville. So downtown, you're going to be just behind this rotating portion of the storm. Let's take a look at the debris tracker just to see if we've picked up any sort of lofted debris. So Milledgeville, east of Milledgeville, Lake Laurel Road, up Highway 22, Devereaux, take cover now. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. Not showing any debris on the debris tracker, so that's good. Let's see if we can hold on to that and go back to the reflectivity. And you can see the inflow is fairly shallow. So this area is what we're looking at, just east of Milledgeville, right there at the cutoff of 24 from Highway 22, Sparta Highway. But that's where we have the inflow coming in. And then the rotating portion of the storm is just going to be slightly to the west of that. So that's going to be east of downtown Milledgeville. So that's going to be over Ivy Weaver Road, and then stretching out toward Lake Laurel and 22. So tornado warning until 8:15. This is covering northeastern Baldwin County, southwestern Hancock County. And just kind of looking downstream here, if this storm holds together, does not look like it'll be reaching into Sparta necessarily, but the hail core and the heavy rain, the strong portion of the storm will be up around Sparta and in central Hancock County. So that's why we have that severe thunderstorm warning that covers pretty much all of Hancock County, and it's covering up most of northern Baldwin County as well. So Sparta, you're going to see that heavy rain and the hail moving in. But this rotating portion of the storm east of downtown Milledgeville, as it continues to move east through Baldwin County. Just above 22, we'll be crossing 22 again. As you know, 22 kind of cuts back up toward the north as it heads toward Devereaux and eventually on into Sparta. So that will be moving over that area here over the next few minutes. Let's take a look at All right, getting a report of near golf ball size hail in Baldwin and Hancock County. And let me just make sure we have everybody covered here. And okay, we are live on the radio stations in the Lake area, as well as on the Georgia WeatherNet, YouTube, Facebook. And let me just make sure we have the word out to everybody that we possibly can. This is a dangerous storm. All these storms have had the history of very damaging winds and hail, and also the possibility here of tornadoes. All right, tornado warning is in effect until 8:15. I was just gathering some more information there. This is for northeastern Baldwin County, southwestern Hancock County. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning overlaying that, and that goes until 8:30. And then a report of golf ball size hail in Baldwin County. That's coming from one of the spotters there. So, yeah, this is a significant thunderstorm for sure. And that rotating portion of the storm continues to move in toward Hancock County, starting to cross 22 right now. Live coverage here on the Georgia WeatherNet. I'm meteorologist KJ Allen. The time is 7:49. We're going to continue to watch this. We're connected with the National Weather Service. So any updates that they have to send along, we will pass it along to you right here on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and on the radio stations in the area as well. So we'll zoom out and just give you a big picture of where this storm is right now and where our warnings are, stretching across from around Pine Mountain all the way to the east, now heading into Hancock County, heading into the Milledgeville area, south of Sparta. We'll zoom back in on our tornado-warned storm. This is going to be the most important storm that we have, we're following this morning, with the rotation indicated by radar, and we're not showing any debris necessarily being lofted from the storm at this time, but we do see that rotation just to the east of Milledgeville. So that's why we're going to hold on to this, keep an eye on the storm until it either dissipates or the National Weather Service calls off the warning altogether. We're trying to get zoom back in here once again. If you're just joining us on our radio stations, National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Baldwin County, southwestern Hancock County until 8:15, and still showing the possibility of some rotation now moving out of Baldwin County. It's really just right along Highway 22, moving into the southern portion of Hancock County. This is going to be near Devereaux. We'll continue to track just to the south of Sparta, but Sparta will be in line for the hail core portion of the storm. And as I mentioned, we've had some reports of golf ball size hail coming out of Baldwin County. So if you're able to get your car under some sort of substantial structure, you don't need to go out and drive in this. You need to stay in place. But if you're up in Sparta, you have a few minutes to get your car covered before the hail core portion of the storm moves in. Milledgeville, you're going to be clear. Downtown Milledgeville, you're clear of the rotating storm, but you need to still be in your tornado-safe place in Devereaux, and then in the southern portion of Sparta, south of 22, west of Highway 15, be in your lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. I know there are a lot of manufactured homes in this part of Hancock County and eastern Baldwin County. It's just it's the worst place to be when you have a storm like this moving through. So when you get these warnings coming in, you got to take cover in a substantial structure, a site-built home or business, lowest level, most interior room. And just on these days where we have these severe thunderstorm watches and tornado watches, those are days to make sure you have a plan B if you're in a manufactured home or know someone who is. Got a report here from in North Baldwin County of golf ball size hail. That's a second report coming in. And this tornado is now going to be switched over to confirmed. So this is a confirmed tornado moving into Hancock County. And our severe thunderstorm warning will continue for portions of Baldwin, Hancock, and Washington until 8:30 as well. So multiple storms across the state of Georgia this morning. We've had some damage reported out in West Georgia in the LaGrange area. I-85 is closed south of LaGrange, trees down on 185 as well. And so this is not part of the same cell that we see now in Hancock County, but this is part of the same line. So this just gives you an idea of how worked up the atmosphere is this morning and how much energy is there to see that kind of damage with these storms. So right now we are continuing to track the storm moving out of Baldwin County, moving into Hancock County. And this is going to be confirmed tornado, not showing any debris on our debris tracker. So that's good. It's still may be seeing some damage reports coming in, but have not seen any real significant debris signature on radar. But we have seen some significant rotation. So what are we talking about? We're east of Milledgeville. This is going to be east of Lake Laurel Road. This is now moving up just over the county line of Baldwin and Hancock County, continuing to just ride right along Highway 22, eventually going to stay south of 22 once it crosses around Devereaux. And then should be staying, the rotating portion of the storm should be staying south of Sparta. So Sparta, you're not in the warning polygon right now, but the Devereaux community, you're very close. And we're also seeing some hail now possibly coming down on Highway 22, just about 5 miles to the west of Sparta. Just taking a look at the velocity, see what kind of rotating couplet that we have. And it is starting to get a little bit out of range to get a good view on it. But I think we are also losing some of the intensity of the rotation. So it's possible we'll get this to expire a little bit early. If so, I'll pass that word along to you. But as for right now, the tornado warning remains in effect until 8:15, so another 20 minutes to go. But this is starting to move out of Baldwin County. If anything, we'll probably get the tornado warning expired for Baldwin here shortly, and we'll hang on to it for a portion of Hancock. But we'll see. That's up to the Weather Service, and we'll let them do their job and get us the information, and I'll just pass it along to you. So we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the same area, covering Milledgeville up to Lake Sinclair, Lake Oconee, Greensboro. That is in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Baldwin County is part of a tornado watch as well. So severe thunderstorm watch and tornado watch for Baldwin County, and then you kind of stretch that out toward the west, heading toward Macon, and then further west, all the way out to West Georgia. So the potential for tornadoes will remain as we move through the late morning and into the very early afternoon hours. Then later this afternoon, it's going to be looking at isolated showers and thunderstorms, and things should get fairly quiet overnight tonight. Another round of severe weather possible for tomorrow, but today is going to be our biggest weather-aware day, and obviously so with tornado warning that we are following right now, moving into Hancock County. So take another, just kind of going to take a wide view. For those of you listening on the radio, you're not able to see the radar, but that's all right. That's why we're here. And I'm going to use another radar site just to get another view of the storm. And that will take just a second to load up, so just bear with me. This part of Georgia, we have two radar sites that have pretty good coverage. One out of Jeffersonville, which used to have a lot of technical problems, and then our radar site out of Atlanta. So Jeffersonville is pretty close, and that's going to give us a good view of our storm as it moves into Hancock County. Yeah, still looking at that hook echo. Good inflow notch just inside Hancock County, right on Highway 22. So this is going to be fairly close to the Dollar General store. That's not far away from where Lake Laurel comes in. Then that notch still there. Got a new sweep of radar, and we have a really clear shot now looking at the Jeffersonville radar site. Still showing that rotation. It is broadening out. It's got more width to it now than it did as it was moving east of Milledgeville. So hopefully we can get this tornado warning dropped early, and this storm can begin to weaken somewhat, at least the rotating part of the storm, as it continues to move into a little more stable air in parts of Hancock County. But the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 8:30. That does cover Sparta, and that is going to take the line all the way up to the eastern edge of Hancock County, moving in toward Glasscock County. So if this storm holds together, we'll be watching out in Mitchell, Gibson, Edge Hill, and in the Glasscock County. But one step at a time. We're watching the cell now completely inside of Hancock County now. So Baldwin County, we do have heavy rain in the northern part of the county, up around Plant Branch, Lake Sinclair, moving up into southern Putnam. But that's not a severe storm. That's not part of this cell that we're watching. So just know that if you're listening to us or watching us up 441, up toward Putnam County, even out to 129, heavy rainfall, but no threat of any tornadoes with that. Our rotating storm is now completely inside Hancock County and is right over Highway 22. So if you are anybody that will be traveling at this hour on Highway 22 coming between Sparta and Milledgeville, they need to get into a safe place right now, not in an automobile. Tornado warning will continue. This may get edited just a little bit, but we just got the weather service. Will continue for Baldwin and Hancock County until 8:15. The confirmed tornado over Underwood, about 9 miles northeast of Milledgeville. This is moving east at 30 miles per hour. So this is still going to be radar confirmed tornado. And let me just flip over to our debris tracker to see if we have any signs of debris. And as for right now, it doesn't look like that's the case. So we will continue to track this, watch the debris tracker, and watching the radar couplet as well, the wind couplet. Yeah, this is still broadening out somewhat, but still a confirmed tornado over Highway 22. This is going to be just the southwest of Devereaux in Hancock County. So remain in your tornado safe place, lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. And that polygon has been trimmed up somewhat. Again, Milledgeville, you are in the severe thunderstorm warned area, but not in the tornado warning area. So this is now going to be beyond the city limits of Milledgeville, well east of the bridge, east of Milledgeville, but it is stretching into Hancock County. And the severe thunderstorm warning covering virtually all of Hancock County. And then all the way up to the Glasscock County line. So some significant hail now falling in Sparta, pretty close to the square, just west of town. Looking at some significant hail, could be 1.5 inches in diameter. Could be golf ball size. We've had several reports of golf ball size hail in Baldwin County. And right now it looks like the predominant portion of that hail core is just west of downtown Sparta. So tornado warning, they're going to hang on to this, looks like, until probably the expiration at 8:15. So we're going to keep it live here until it either is canceled early or until 8:15. It's 8:01 is our current time. And we are tracking this confirmed tornado, confirmed by radar. We've had no spotters reporting any damage as of yet, but certainly let you know if I have any reports coming in. So this is going to be near the Underwood community, close to Devereaux, just to the southwest, and now moving really south-southwest of Sparta, and about 10 miles or so outside of Milledgeville. So everything looks pretty clear right now for Baldwin County. Let's go ahead and got a new sweep of radar. We'll take a look and just check all of our tornado radar tools here to make sure that we have no signs of debris. Still have that. Yeah, that storm is still rotating for sure. Again, I keep saying it over and over again, but it's not really moving all that quickly, moving about 35 miles per hour. So not really much to say other than Hancock County, Highway 22, and tracking toward the east. Not really showing any clear signs of debris. So maybe we kept this one off the ground. So the Weather Service now letting us know the tornado warning will be allowed to expire. Not sure if they mean they're going to wait till 8:15 or they're going to call it off sooner, but they're looking at the same thing we are, that rotation is broadening out. There's still some in there, but the last few scans not showing any indication that that's going to tighten up again. But if it does, we will we'll certainly let you know. All right, so they're going to hang on to the warning up until 8:15. And just updating it just a little bit, completely clearing Baldwin County. And now simply in the southwestern corner of Hancock County. So that warning continues until 8:15. The storm capable of producing that tornado now over Beulah, about 9 miles to the southwest of Sparta, continuing to move at a slow pace, 30-mile-an-hour speed to the east. So heavy rainfall and hail in Sparta, south of town, now approaching Highway 15. And then the rain and the wind beginning to pick up in Glasscock County as well. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning still impacting portions of northeastern Baldwin County and pretty much the bottom 2/3 of Hancock County. And the rain really coming down in buckets right now over Sparta. So we will stay right here as long as this tornado warning is active, and it's set to go for another 11 minutes and will probably be allowed to expire. Doesn't look like there's any sign that this is going to get extended out time-wise or by location. I think this is going to be allowed to go, but we're going to just stay right here and talk about it for another 11 minutes. And while we do that, take a look at the rest of the state, because it's important to know that this is not going to be it for today. We still have the tornado watch in effect for Baldwin County, and then points west, severe thunderstorm watch for the rest of the lake area. And we have that severe thunderstorm warning that overlays our tornado warning for Hancock and then stretches into Baldwin County. Also a severe thunderstorm warning out to the west. One more warning on the board in the state. We may have a second one about to pop up, but we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Lamar, Meriwether, Pike, and Upson counties. That's until 8:15. And yep, that's the only other warning that we have right now. So that storm moving across US 19, beginning to move in toward Barnesville. So we're again going to be talking about the area out in Lamar County, Meriwether County, the eastern part of Meriwether, Pike, Upson County. And the reason we're talking about this storm produced a tornado around the LaGrange area and significant damage reported. Homes destroyed from some of the reports that we had, and even a hotel out in West Point was severely damaged. So we're going to continue to get those damage reports in. And these storms are just going to keep tracking from west to east throughout the morning hours all the way into the early afternoon hours. So understand, once you get clear of a storm, if you're sitting in Milledgeville or you're sitting in Eatonton and things get quiet, that's going to be temporary, because we see those storms just continue to move in and just train over the same areas. So in addition to the wind issues, the tornado possibilities, and the heavy rain, we're also going to be talking about some flooding with so much rain falling in such a short period of time over the next few hours. And then more storms out west in Alabama. So that's going to continue to track in over the same area as well, heading toward LaGrange, then up in the Noonan area, and mainly Griffin, South Metro Atlanta, and then continuing to move in toward the lake area. So some heavy rainfall now moving in to Putnam County, not severe, but some heavy rain pushing into southern Putnam. Eatonton has the rain. We have heavy rain in Monticello, Jasper County, and then most of the showers lifting up toward the north, out of Baldwin and Jones County, and then pushing upwards. So things are getting pretty quiet in Milledgeville, and still waiting on any sort of damage reports. Haven't picked up anything in Milledgeville itself. We had a report of golf ball size hail in northern Baldwin County, and that came in about 30 minutes ago, but no wind damage reports as of yet. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. No tornado damage reports. it's very possible that this, if we had a funnel, probably didn't reach the ground. We just didn't see any debris signature on this as it moved through Baldwin County and the Hancock County. So hopefully that will remain that way. It is 8:07. You're listening to live coverage from the Georgia WeatherNet. Tornado warning is still active for southwest Hancock County, even though the rotation has diminished significantly. Just to play it safe, the National Weather Service is hanging on to this tornado warning. They did edit it just a little bit and cleared Baldwin County. But the warning remains in effect until 8:15 for southwest Hancock County. And not a bad idea. With the history of these storms, the Weather Service would rather hold on to these warnings a little bit longer than necessary as opposed to cancel them sooner. So basically what they're doing right now, keeping the warnings in place and then scanning the rest of their what they call the CWA, the county warning area, and checking on all the other cells that are out there, and then revisiting the existing warnings that we have on the board and letting it sit if necessary. So really only have about 7 minutes to go, and really not showing the rotation at all anymore. That has almost completely dissipated. So we'll see what the plan is. Go back to reflectivity. We'll take a look at the rain. So yeah, in the tornado warning area in southwest Hancock, just looking at some rain. In some spots, no rain at all, but some heavy rain as you get closer into Sparta. Keep in mind, Sparta is not in the tornado warning zone or the polygon. It's in the severe thunderstorm warned area. And that rain continues to pour very heavily. But the bulk of the hail core and the heaviest part of the rain is now east of Sparta, heading up Highway 16. And some pretty heavy rain, too, down Highway 15 as well. And just checking some more storm damage reports. Everything's really coming in from out in West Georgia in Troup County. As I mentioned, multiple homes. Wow, this is some homes around the Cherokee Resort Road area in Troup County with homes severely damaged. As I mentioned, Interstate 85 is closed between exit 2 and exit 6 due to trees down on the interstate. How about that? Trees down on the interstate. So that just shows how significant those winds were. And very likely a tornado that was on the ground from, if you're familiar with the or the LaGrange area above Columbus, from I-85 past 185 and then over to about US 27. So could be a fairly long track tornado that occurred earlier this morning. And those storms are not done yet. They are continuing to track toward the east. So that's why we just are going to remain weather aware all the way into the early afternoon hours today. Things will start to get a little bit quieter this afternoon. Still looking at some isolated thunderstorms around through the afternoon, evening hours, and into the overnight hours tonight. More thunderstorms tomorrow. We're looking at the potential of severe weather again over a good part of the state, middle Georgia, parts of South Georgia, with a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. Today, our main focus area has been under a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather. So just keep in mind, even though you're level 2, you may not think that's a big deal, but with homes destroyed and in some reports leveled homes out around the LaGrange area, you can't take even a level 2 risk lightly. You have to be prepared no matter what level you're in when you have these severe weather threats, especially with the air masses that we've had converging, a very cold air mass up to the north, warm, humid air to the south. And this is what we get, especially this time of year in early spring, and then we get in the late fall, and that's where we get those air masses that collide. So just getting some more info on the possibility of the tornado, of where it would have tracked. So just north of Milledgeville, not going to be in town, but just north of Milledgeville, probably around the Ivy Weaver Road area, and then around Underwood, heading toward Hancock County. So that's where we're going to be looking out for some damage reports. I know one of our, well, possibly two of the radio stations are going to be off the air in the Milledgeville area. due to the power being out there, and we'll check on that. And while we have you here, I've got another 3 minutes on this tornado warning, so we'll go ahead and check the outages from Georgia Power. And I know we're going to have numerous outages across the state, and we sure do. So just looking at in the Milledgeville area, power outages all up Highway 441, around Lake Sinclair. So just kind of doing some quick math here. We probably have close to 2,000 customers without power in the lake area alone. Across the state, there are going to be more power outages, and those crews are going to be working hard to get this restored. It could take a little while, considering how widespread the wind damage is. And I'm looking more into up around Roberta and east of Lincoln Park. So getting into the center part of the state, and one particular community there with about 400 power outages. So, we're looking at several thousand folks without power this morning, stretching from LaGrange, and even power outages in Augusta around Martinez and up into Columbia County. So crews are going to be working very hard, but the most of the power outages we have will be between Baldwin and Hancock counties. So I'm just looking at the Georgia Power map, and there's just a clump of, there's about more than 2,000. This just came in. About 5,100 customers without power in Baldwin County alone. Let's see if we can pair it up with Hancock. So in the lake area, about 8,200 customers without power, about 81 separate power outage issues. So lots of folks without power. 8,200 the customers affected in the lake area, and this is mainly going to be in Baldwin County, and the numerous power outages in Hancock County as well. So there you go. So that's going to take a little while to get that restored, and it's 8:15. The tornado warning has been dropped, and so I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let me just look downstream here. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, and so that is going to go into Glasscock County and portions of Hancock County, Warren County, and Washington County. So those parts of those areas in our listening area as well. But with the tornado warning dropped, we'll go ahead and go back to local programming on, I guess, maybe there's one radio station on the air that we're broadcasting on due to the power outages. So Benji, Todd, we can go ahead and go back to local programming now, and we'll keep it live here on Facebook and on YouTube. If you want to continue our live coverage, just go to our YouTube page, Georgia WeatherNet, Facebook page, Georgia WeatherNet, and we will continue to track what's going on around the state. But there's that long line of thunderstorms. It's now just north of Columbus, north of Macon, and then heading in toward the lake area and then into the Augusta area. So just as the forecast models were showing, this is a very wide swath of thunderstorms, with the potential of severe thunderstorms and the potential of those spin-up tornadoes. Now, we're still on Lake Country 102.3. We appreciate you listening. Again, we're going to go back to local programming here momentarily, and you can continue to follow the conversation on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel as well on the Georgia WeatherNet. We'll take a look at our severe thunderstorm warning that we have now issued for portions of Glasscock County, as well as still have part of Hancock County in there, southeastern Warren County, north central Washington County. Doppler radar indicating that really line of thunderstorms around Beale Springs near Sparta, moving east at 25 miles per hour. So the potential of 60-mile-an-hour wind gust with this storm system, as well as quarter or $half size hail. So upgrading the hail potential. Warrenton, you're in the warning polygon, as well as Mitchell, Gibson, Edge Hill, Hamburg State Park, the Shoals, Jewel. As I mentioned, Beale Springs, that's where the storm is right now. The Reese community. And I think I did mention Warrenton. You're in the severe thunderstorm warning polygon as well. And looking at that hail potential in Warrenton right now, it's been the northern part of this storm cell that's been producing the hail. The southern end is where we've seen some rotation. As for right now, nothing rotating, nothing that's really standing out. The storm tightened up pretty good just north of Milledgeville, and then lost a lot of that rotation as it moved in toward southwestern Hancock County, and haven't really seen that try to regroup. So that's good. It's hitting that more stable air, so that's why it's getting a little bit more difficult for the spin to remain. But we still have that heavy rain and the hail potential, as well as the straight line winds of 60 miles per hour, which can cause plenty of damage on its own. So severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 9 o'clock. This is going to be for southeastern Warren County, east central Hancock County, Glasscock County, and north central Washington County. And then the previous severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for most of Washington County until 8:30. And that will be, I'm sure that they'll just hang on to that. There's no reason to drop that any earlier than necessary. Zoom in a little bit closer to this line of storms, not severe. Probably going to have a special weather statement on this one. Let's take a look. But that's going to be a big wind producer in Thomaston. So heading into Upson County, heavy rain returning to Manchester. Already been experiencing the rain there. And we have more rain on the way. So yeah, here's our special weather statement box. That's one level below severe thunderstorm. So just know that it's pretty close, and we may get that upgraded to a severe thunderstorm. We'll see. But there's the potential of some strong straight line winds with that as it moves into Upson County, heavy rain up in Barnesville, and then back up into Meriwether County, looking at those heavy showers. So let's go back and look at some of the storm reports that we've had. If you're just joining us, a confirmed tornado on the ground in southern Troup County near LaGrange, and reports of some homes destroyed as a result of that, serious damage, and homes that in some of the reports are coming out saying leveled homes. So that's going to be more than a spin up tornado. That's probably going to be an EF3 or greater. That'll take a couple of days before we get the official designation from the Weather Service. They have to go survey that damage, and we'll find out about that possibly tomorrow or Tuesday, and pass that along to you in a post on the on Facebook on the Georgia Weather Net. But hopefully, we haven't had any reports of fatalities. Did have a report of an entrapment in Troup County, and we're hoping that everyone's going to be all right over there in Troup and in the northern Harris County. Weather Service will be talking about the flood threat here next, as I've been talking about with these storms just training on top of each other. Oh, wow. We'll be talking about a flood threat. Now, this is going to be a first for me. Pine Mountain, where you had all that wind, you had the potential of a tornado nearby. Law enforcement now reporting a tiger has escaped from the wild animal safari in Pine Mountain. So this is another threat. In addition to the flooding threat, the wind threat, now we have a wild animal threat. So law enforcement telling people to stay inside in Pine Mountain. That I've never reported that. I have been doing this almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years in November. And that is the first time I've reported a tiger on the loose. But that is the case at the Wild Animal Safari in Pine Mountain. Wow. All right. So let's get back to our severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in the east, starting to move toward the eastern part of the state now. Hancock County still have those storms starting to move out of Sparta, still looking at some heavy rainfall, but the hail threat has subsided in Sparta. But we're still going to hang on to that severe thunderstorm warning for another few more minutes, about 8 more minutes for majority of Hancock County, technically northeast Baldwin County, although things are in the clear there. Our main concern is going to be our severe thunderstorm moving in through Warrenton, just north of Gibson, and continue to move up toward McDuffie County. So McDuffie, I think you're probably going to be next. It, at the very least, may get a special weather statement issued for Thompson and McDuffie County. But Warren County, the eastern portion of Hancock County, you are in the severe thunderstorm Warren Polygon, as well as portions of Glasscock County and Washington County. It's going to be the northern portion of Washington County. Sandersville, Tennell, you are not in there. You are too far south. Everything is pretty quiet down in Sandytown. So everything going to be passing to the north, but not so quiet in Warrenton and Thompson, as this storm continues to track toward the east, and will be moving into the western portion of the Augusta metro, starting to head toward Grovetown will be next, and then pushing into Augusta. Although I'm seeing the storm, really losing a lot of intensity. It lost that rotation potential, so that's good. And then we're also seeing the storm begin to spread out quite a bit. So that's going to reduce the wind potential, and also just help cut down on the hail. It's just all around a good thing. Flooding is our main concern when the storm starts to spread out like this. Just means it's going to rain quite a bit longer. And with the storm moving at about 30 miles per hour, it's not in a hurry to go anywhere. So we're just going to watch out for that flooding potential as these storms continue to track over the same area. But our tornado threat is reduced significantly with this cell moving through Warren County, now heading toward McDuffie County. We'll zoom out, take a big picture look once again. And okay, yep, new severe thunderstorm warnings. We're going to have to switch over to Columbia to get this one, so we can do that, no problem. We're connected with everybody. So National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Columbia County, McDuffie County, and northwestern Richmond County. So getting into the Augusta area now. Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm near Warrenton, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Still that quarter-size hail threat, so that's been reduced somewhat, and 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. So locations include Grovetown, Evans, Thompson, Fort Gordon, Martinez, Harlem, Appling, Riverwood, Deering, Liberty Park, Sweetwater Park, Adamsville, the White Oak Campground area, all going to be in line for this severe thunderstorm. So this is the same cell that rotated. It had some rotation in it around Milledgeville and then on into Hancock County, but we haven't seen any rotation for a while with this storm. So hopefully that is out of its system as it approaches Augusta. It is really starting to spread out, losing a lot of intensity, but still at severe weather threshold. So that's why we're going to see this severe thunderstorm warning extended now into McDuffie County, Columbia County, and northwestern Richmond County. And that goes until 9 a.m. Our severe thunderstorm warning down in Hancock County will be allowed to expire at 8:30. Got that severe thunderstorm warning that is covering just to the west of what we just talked about. They're closer to Augusta, so that is part of Glasscock, Hancock, Warren, and Washington County. That goes until 9 a.m., and those storms are still really, really whipping up out there through Warren County and Warrenton. Further out to the west, not severe, but some strong thunderstorms stretching across Putnam County. We're looking at southern Jasper County as well. Now starting to move into Monticello. It's going to be raining for quite some time in Monticello. And then heading across the other side of I-75 with strong thunderstorms from Woodbury over to Barnesville. It's been raining there for quite some time, so flooding is going to be another issue there. We're going to start to hear about some flood warnings coming out soon from the Weather Service. That's going to be the next issue that we're looking at. And if you're just joining us, I mentioned a moment ago a threat that I've never had to talk about ever before, and that's around Pine Mountain with a tiger that has escaped from the wild animal safari. So people are asked to stay indoors even after the rain starts to pass in Pine Mountain, because there is a tiger on the prowl. If anybody that you know that lives anywhere near the wild animal safari, let them know that they need to stay inside. And my goodness, bring your animals in. Just obviously law enforcement talking about people staying inside, but if you have cats or dogs, even if they're big dogs, they're not going to be a challenge for a tiger. So bring in the animals inside and call up anybody you know in that area and let them know to do the same thing. That's, when you have these kind of winds and a tornado, wild things can happen. And that's about one of the wildest things I've heard in a while. So before it's all said and done, we're going to get our tornado updates. It's going to probably take a couple of days from the National Weather Service. Although it's likely they may get down there tomorrow and survey the damage in around LaGrange. But we're going to find that there was a tornado on the ground for several miles, likely from Interstate 85 all the way over to 185, and probably lifted around the Hamilton Road area. That's Highway 27. So, it could be 5 to 10 mile track. We'll find out more once they get all that released. You can't really speculate right now because there's just no way until you put your eyes on the damage. But we're going to find that was a significant tornado, going to be more than likely an EF3, could be an EF4. So we'll find out for sure and pass that information along. But numerous homes destroyed. We've had reports of that throughout the morning around the Cherokee Resort Road area. Had some reports around some trees down on I-85, mentioned that. And all this near and just to the south of LaGrange. So really the damage looks like it's contained from the Harris Troup County line all the way up to LaGrange. That's where we're going to find a majority of the damage. So still looking at some significant rainfall around LaGrange right now. And that continues to track off toward the east, and the more thunderstorms coming in from Alabama. Let's zoom out, take a look at the big picture, and take a look at the composite radar. And no tornado warnings right now, but I'm just kind of standing by, staying close, because we're watching a few strong thunderstorms, and we can put the composite radar on just to show you where all of the rain is. There you go. And we turn off the high res for just a moment, just to give you just a scope of how big this system is. So now the eastern edge in Columbia, South Carolina, this is stretching through Augusta, then staying south of I-20, heading through Putnam County, north of Macon, around Forsyth, and then we head out west toward LaGrange. There's that heavy rain continuing out there, and then 3 severe thunderstorm warnings out in Alabama. So that's going to continue pushing our way. I can put this in motion for you so you can see the way that these storms are moving. So there you go, from west to east. So flooding is going to be a big concern with this line. But South Georgia, I think, is going to remain fairly quiet through the day today. North Georgia, isolated showers and thunderstorms. And the atmosphere, there's spin pretty much in the atmosphere throughout the state. So what we're missing is that lifting mechanism. Obviously, we're not missing that through the middle part of the state, but South Georgia, up in the North Georgia mountains, we're just not getting a lot of lift. We have the moisture in the atmosphere, we have the instability, and we have wind shear. So any storm that pops up is going to have the potential to go severe. That's just the way it's going to be through the afternoon hours, through tonight as well. That's kind of the way it was overnight. We had several severe thunderstorm warnings through the overnight hours, and it didn't take much, just enough lift to get that warm, humid air up into the upper levels, and then it takes off from there. And with the wind shear, that's what's causing a lot of these storms to spin. So that's going to be the case throughout the day today, even though things are going to be fairly quiet in the southern part and the northern part of the state. Just know that there is that severe weather risk there. We do have the tornado watch in effect. Let me go ahead and turn off everything here, and we'll go back and show you where the watch areas are. Remember, watch means that conditions are favorable. Warning means that it's happening right now. And so we've cleared off the board. And let me give you where our current watch areas are. All right, so this is all loading up. So the pink area, that's going to be your tornado watch. So LaGrange, Columbus, Macon, you're in that tornado watch area. The purple, which is going to be the South Metro Atlanta counties, up to Athens and Oconee County, over to Augusta, down to Statesboro, Vidalia, into Toombs County, Montgomery County, Wheeler County, Claxton. You are in the severe thunderstorm watch, and that goes in effect until stays in effect rather until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So just cutting right through the middle of the state there, from Columbus to Augusta to Statesboro, you're either under a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch. That means conditions are favorable for those two things. And so really the Storm Prediction Center is saying, yeah, most of the spin is going to be kind of in the western half of the state, and then you start to lose a little bit of that spin, start to get a little bit more stable air toward the eastern edge, but still enough instability for these storms to go strong to severe. All right, let's go back to the radar, and we're going to break off our live broadcast here momentarily. Just as we have no more tornado warnings on the board, but I just kind of want to watch some of these storms as they developed and make sure nothing bad is occurring. And here comes our first flood warning, flash flood warning for Meriwether, Pike, and Upson County until 2:30. So let's zoom in on West Georgia. And we should be able to pull up that polygon. There you go. There's your flash flood warning until 2:30, again, for portions of Meriwether, Pike, and Upson County. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for, we just heard the alarm go off, but I'm not sure who that's for. We'll just scan the rest of the state. Okay, there it is. Nope, that's the existing one. All right, not sure why that. We just had a severe thunderstorm warning, one of the alarms here, just to let us know, make sure we're not missing anything, but not showing anything new. And I'm on with the chat as well. So some damage pictures or some damage reports rather coming in from Milledgeville. It's going to be some storm damage, MLK and Jefferson intersection in Milledgeville. So that's very close in town at MLK and Jefferson. So likely the Weather Service will be surveying that damage as well. And we'll find out what went on in Baldwin County. But we did have a rotating storm. Didn't really see a debris signature as it moved through Baldwin County, Milledgeville, and Hancock County. But it could have been straight line wind damage. We'll find out for sure after the Weather Service does their assessment. The severe thunderstorm warning for Hancock and Washington counties have been canceled a little early. But we're still going to hang on to our severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Warren County and the northern portion of Glasscock County. That remains until 9. And then the larger polygon toward the east, that covers Columbia, McDuffie, and Richmond, the western portion of Richmond County, not quite to 520 there, but good part of Richmond County is in the warning polygon right up to Evans. And that goes until 9 o'clock as well, with that strong thunderstorm starting to bow out a little bit just south of Thompson. So looking at some strong straight line winds with that as it continues to push toward the east, heading through McDuffie County, beginning to move into southern Columbia County. All right, so it's 8:36. No other tornado warnings on the board. We'll just take one more scan. Just watching these storms all north of the Macon Metro, really just between Atlanta and Macon. No warnings on them, but let's see if there's anything suspicious happening before we break off our broadcast. It's much easier to stay live than it is to press all the buttons to go live again. But if we have nothing left, we'll let it go. So let's see what we got over around northern Upson County. Maybe some broad rotation. Let's take a little closer look if this lines up. Okay. Yeah, this storm, not severe, but this one's worth keeping an eye on. So this is going to be above Thomaston, US 19, right along the Upson County line. And some broad rotation with this storm, probably showing some hail with this as well. This is just to the south of Meansville. This is above Thomaston. And this storm is worth keeping an eye on, and we will certainly do that. But as for right now, the Weather Service not seeing a big threat with this one, but that's probably, as far as any storm that's not in a warned area, that's probably the strongest one that we currently have. So that is just pushing right along, just north, as I mentioned, of Thomaston, and moving to the east at looks like about 45 miles per hour. So, all right, but not a warned storm. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and break off our broadcast at this time and come back if we have any other tornado warnings to pass along, and we will certainly pass that along. And actually just got a report from Atrium Health in Milledgeville with some structural damage to the main building, and they're on generator power over there. As I mentioned, over 8,000 customers between mainly in Baldwin County and then up in the Hancock County without power. So Georgia Power are going to be working hard to get that restored, but some damage to the Atrium Health Hospital building. That's going to be on the west side of Milledgeville, and we'll continue to monitor those reports as they come in. So that's going to do it for our live broadcast for right now. We'll rejoin if necessary later on this morning or this afternoon right here on the Georgia Weather Net.